Step one of making a good fire starter is always to find tree sap. You're always going to want tree sap, and the best place to look is, of course, pine trees. And like this one is very damaged, so there's a lot of new and old tree sap, and you definitely want to pick as much as you can. When you're collecting the tree sap, you're gonna want all the different stages of the tree sap depending on, well, how prepared you are. In my case, I am wearing gloves and I'm using the screw as like a makeshift knife so I don't get the tree sap on me. Now you can go for the crystal clear stuff, which is this new one. You can also go for these creamy, more like a harder one, and that works good too. It's all good when melted. And in my case, I'm using a tin can as the collector, which helps a lot. So wear gloves or just use a really good tool when you're scooping it all out.
All right, so we're getting ready to heat some pitch nuggets here, some pitch off the trees.
Would this be considered step 3?
Yeah.
I guess this is step 3.
Or step 2. You just gotta collect the tree sap first.
And then you need some kind of a pan that you can sacrifice to melt it in and use, and then we'll just keep the pan for the future.
There we got some of the chunks.
Okay, so we got a pan with, it's hard to show, but a bunch of the pitch, and we're gonna melt. Maybe I'll turn this down a little bit so we more slowly,
slow roast it.
Keep so it doesn't quite burn.
There we got it.
Okay, so we probably got a good inch or so of this pan.
That's pretty much all of it.
I'm gonna throw that on there.
And if you get tree sap on you, use rubbing alcohol. It'll dissolve it. That'll be a later afterwards.
Okay, and then we've got cotton balls so we can dip. I went to the dollar store, got cheap tongs so that we're sacrificing cheap tongs to do this because we'll probably end up throwing these away when we're done. Ooh, listen to it crackle.
Yeah. So always make sure you have a deep enough of a pan or container because it always boils.
It bubbles
twice as high.
Yeah, it'll bubble up.
Amount.
And just to show you guys, we have some from before, kind of a golden brown coated cotton ball, and they burn for a minute or two to help you start a fire. So just a good thing to throw in your backpack and to have it.
Yep. And you can get more creative with your tree sap. I've done tree sap candles, granted only for outdoor use, but you can start a fire with that. Always boil your stuff outside because of the fumes and safety hazards, of course.
Fumes?
Well, I mean it smells nice, but you just don't want it inside.
Yes.
And you can always just gather tree sap too for waterproofing themes, because typically people would just gather tree sap, melt it, and then take a glob with you when you're camping. And if you get a hole or something, like your shoes or I don't know, anything,
Boot, whatever.
You just heat it up and then you can spread it. Granted, you know, you'll be sticky, but if you need to waterproof something, that's the way to go.
Okay, and I'm gonna do just a little twig off the ground, stirring stick. So we just need to be careful that we don't flip this because this is such a small burner. And
bring like welding gloves if you can, if you need to hold in containers.
Something leather.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll take a little while to boil.
We've got stuff we could probably do a little bit of, let me try one. Cotton ball, stir it around, just kind of coat it. Oh boy.
Wow.
And there we go, we got our first one.
For the most part. You typically let it all boil first. And you always...
Oh boy.
It's easier with like with medical tongs than a barbecue tong.
I don't know, it's... Wow.
Yeah, they can get messy.
It cooled so fast that now I can't get separated.
That's why with the metal, like medical tongs, they stay heated up when you leave it in.
Oh, the metal?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then you always have the exposed part where you hold it, and that's where you light it, and it'll light a lot easier.
Drop that sucker in there.
Okay, well, you're doing it different, but it's working.
Well, we've got melted.
Yeah.
I think we should do a cotton
just gotta
ball
be quick.
standoff.
Oh, yeah. See?
Like
quick.
Pops versus Son. And see.
Well, and as long as it's hot, he was saying, like, if it cools, you got trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dropping it in hot and then letting go quick. Because that first one, I didn't do that, and it's still a mess.
And you can just save whatever's left over once it's cooled off, and then add more tree sap and just boil it again.
Whew, does make the eyes water. So, definitely outside.
Yep.
It's really full of
But we'll
fumes.
It's a good mosquito repellent.
Oh, we needed that this afternoon.
I did find the citronella.
Good.
So, the citronella candle. So, yeah, definitely the key, do it while it's hot.
Yep.
Because that first one that cooled off, that turned out to be a mess.
Yeah. So make sure it's boiling. Make sure it's hot.
And all I'm doing, guys, is just stirring it around in the foamy sap and just drop them quick. Trying to get more sap to melt.
And you don't have to care about having any impurities in it. Pine needles, bark from when you collect it, moss.
Okay.
It's all good to just add it in and have extra little fuel in it.
Okay, hold on after this one.
Okay.
Let me get some more sap in the middle to melt.
Yeah, it's...
Just because with this pan's a little big, so stuff's running to the edge. Okay.
Good.
Let's try and get a close-up of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that it's good and bubbly.
Oh, it got connected.
It hooked a piece of sap that wasn't melted.
Right there.
Man.
Yeah. Do it in the outdoors.
Yeah, it burns the eyes quick. I wonder if we should throw that other one back in so I can roll it back up. Tongues keep closing up.
Want to just do it?
Yeah.
I should have cooled off enough by now. They cool relatively quick.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay. So, we're using tin foil to cool them on, but...
Aluminum.
Yeah. But normally I did cookie sheets that were dedicated to this. Or old cutting boards too. Plastic ones.
So this originated from an old homestead hack that you came up with for us
Yeah.
while we were living off grid and needed to build fires and keep us going. And this was a great way to,
Use what we had on the property.
yeah, for fire starters and for putting in our backpacks and camping. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we might be about done because I'm running out of sap and it's going to start burning. So it's getting a little thin.
Let's do these last few then.
Okay, we've got a pretty good batch though.
Yeah, it's at least 2 or 3 Ziplocs.
Great job, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Whew.
Boy, it's getting hard to see.
Steamy hot session of, what are these called?
Fire starters.
Fire starters.
Pitch.
Pitch nuggets.
Pitch
That's what it's
nuggets.
called.
Yeah, we're starting to burn the sap, so let's, oh boy, get this wrapped up. Boy. But hot tongs and grabbing them quick does make a difference. Let's make this the last one. This
Okay.
is, we're burning the pan.
Yeah. Just means we have to add more tree sap later.
Yep, we'll have to get another little hunt.
Yeah, and you don't have to care about their color. So long as it has tree sap, it's good.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks for watching.
That's
Yeah.
a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Baba. If you like our Nana and Pop-Pop's adventures, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.